session for February 20th of 2020. I would like to call Pastor Brian Whitley for our invocation.
First of all, before I pray, I'd like to say it's an honor. I love our youth, and this is an exciting time that we're living in, especially 2020. Exciting what God's going to do through our youth, and so let's pray. Heavenly Father, we do thank you. We thank you for this opportunity to be here. Lord, we thank you for your grace and your mercy, and God, how you've kept your hand of protection on us today and throughout this week. And Lord, these young people, God, that you have so ordained for this time, for this appointed time, God, that you're going to do great and mighty things through. And I pray, God, that you would just help this meeting tonight, but not only this meeting, but God, that you will go with them throughout their years of study and their education. And God, that you would just set that fire inside their soul. God, that they'll become those leaders that you desire, that America so desperately needs. I pray, God, that you would just help, that you would bless. And Father, we just give you the glory and the honor. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
We will now have our Pledge of Allegiance presented by the ambitious young men and Fly Girls.
Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now need a motion to approve the order of the agenda.
I, Candace Faith, first this motion.
Tyree Wilson, second this motion.
I will now have our Mayor's Youth Council and Teen Court Coordinator, Ms. Denitra Williams, to come up and discuss recommendations.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Again, thank you so much for coming and spending this time, especially in this inclement weather. It decided to bless us with some rain, some very cold rain. So thank you again for coming out and supporting our youth. Each month we have the pleasure of recognizing some of our youth that are doing excellent in our community. Not only in our community, but one of our own. So the Douglas Mayor's Youth Council has members, each have a month that they are responsible for the meetings. They have to look for spotlight one of their peers to recognize that is doing excellent things, either educationally, athletically, volunteering in the community, or just helping. So they have that opportunity, as well as we like to recognize them. And this month is Jessica Suarez. Jessica actually is active also in our teen court program, and her recognition says Member Spotlight, an outstanding Mayor's Youth Council member and youth in the community. Your dedication is greatly appreciated, and we wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Congratulations on being our Member Spotlight, given on this 20th day of February 2020. And our junior mayor is going to present that to her. Excuse me for a second while I take a picture. Wonderful. This came about because during our orientation, Ms. Juanetta was identifying, hey, the whole point in this is to teach them leadership skills. And they need to understand that things don't just happen the day of the event. There's a lot of things that happen before the event. The coordinating, the calling, just the follow-up, the follow-through. So they get hands-on experience learning everything that is needed before you get to the day of the event. We also have two other spotlights. And our first one is Miss Jenna Williams. And it says, will the mayor, junior mayor, and Jessica come forward? I have the certificates. We want to make sure that we get all the official signatures, so we'll get that to you by the end of the meeting. But if you'll stand up front, because we still need our pictures. And it says, Jenna Williams, given this 20th day of February 2020 by the Mayor's Youth Council. The City of Douglas Mayor's Youth Council recognize you for your perfect attendance since pre-K, educational accomplishment, since pre-K, educational accomplishments, being a member of the National Honor Society, achievements in FFA, FCA, Key Club, Leo Club, literary and one act play, being a scholar athlete in track, tennis, baseball, and cheering, as well as serving as an inspiration to your peers. Hats off to you, Miss Jenna Williams. That's a full schedule, right? Let me get a picture too. Yes, parents, you can step forward. In fact, you can come back here if you would like, sir, and take you a full picture as I start reading for Mr. Cody Beasley. He's also one of our CCA partner representatives. Given this 20th day of February 2020 by the Mayor's Youth Council, the City of Douglas Mayor's Youth Council recognizes you for your serving as CCA's FFA president, accomplishments in FFA competitions in forestry, land judging, and extemporaneous speaking, Leo Club, numerous community volunteer hours, serving as the Coffee County Farm Bureau Junior Board of Directors member, and dual enrolled what do you find time to do? Dual enrollment college credits, and again, perfect attendance since kindergarten. Wow. Hats off to you, Mr. Cody. Okay, thank you. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
One more picture.
I think I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Katie.
We have another representative, the one that is selected by Ms. Jessica. Guadalupe Torres, given this 20th day, if you two will come back to the front, please. This 20th day of February 2020 by the Mayor's Youth Council, the City of Douglas Mayor's Youth Council recognizes you and your educational accomplishment, soccer achievement, leadership in NJROTC, and aspiring and being motivational to your peers. We wish you well in your future endeavors. And I need a picture as well. All right, thank you so much, Ms. Torres. And please be reminded, we are currently still taking applications for the Mayor's Youth Council, as well as our teen court. Our teen court, we meet every first Saturday at the Sheriff's Department. They conduct every office in the courtroom other than the judge, of course, because it is an official court hearing. And we're always looking for jurors and participants 6th grade to 12th grade, first Saturday of each month at 9 a.m. And we have our wonderful partners with that from DJJ that makes the referrals to us. We have Rhonda, Rita, Sabrina, and all of the staff there, and we appreciate being a part of the justice system and giving children a second opportunity to get it right. So with that, I'll end this portion, and always trying to leave a word of inspiration to our youth. This month, also recognizing Black History Month. I thought it only fitting to get one of our trailblazers, which as our mayor, in one of his quotes, In order to change history, we must invest in our youth. By our first African American mayor for the city of Douglas, Georgia.
We will now have Mr. Mike Bazell to give us the Ambitious Young Men and Fly Girl events update.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Y'all doing okay today?
Yes, sir.
All right. Our past event, we had Pumping Love back into the community, part 2. We had February the 14th, Valentine's Day. We was able to serve over 100 women with Valentine gifts. We seen a lot of tears, laughs, smiles. It was a thing of beauty. I never seen so much women come and just be grateful. You never know what somebody's going through, so it was something that our young men was happy to be a part of. Our next event is something we're going to do for the 9th and 12th graders, so we would love to have y'all come and just be around your peers and celebrate with them and have a good time at our 90s drip party. It's for 9th to 12th grade at the freshman campus this Saturday, 7:30 to 11. Ambitious Young Men is still meeting every month, first Thursday of every month and the last Thursday of every month at the Team Center. You can contact me at 912-551-3035 or look me up on Facebook to get any information on Ambitious Young Men. Thank y'all.
Thank you. We will now have the HR Director, Ms. Tammy Wilkerson, to talk about the jobs from the City of Douglas office.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Junior Mayor and Council, good evening to you all as well.
Good evening.
I'm just gonna briefly go through our organizational chart just to let you know, that aside from, team court and mayor and commissioners, the other, departments that's within the city of Douglas. So I'm gonna try to, narrow this down. And there's a PowerPoint presentation that's showing all the different departments in the organizational charts. The city of Douglas, we have 9 departments. Some of those departments, they have more than one department inside of them, like, city clerk. The customer service falls up under her department as well, so there's 2 departments in one. And then our community development department, the same thing. This is our day-to-day operations with the city of Douglas, and all these departments falls up under the leadership, or if you want this per se, the city manager, which is Charles Davis. So right there, and I named the different city departments, which of course I was gonna break them down, or that's what I'll do. That's just the organizational chart. And if Blondell will get to how the city of Douglas operates, a couple of slides. We are local city government, and our government consists of a mayor, 6 commissioners, our city manager, which runs or heads up the day-to-day operations. We have around 196 employees, 9 city departments. Right here you see our mayor and pro tem, Mayor Tony Paulk, Mayor Pro Tem, Ward 5, Cindy McNeil. City Commissioners, Ward 1, Edwin Taylor, Ward 2, Taewon Durham, Ward 3, Olivia Pearson. Ward 4, Mike Gowan, Ward 6, Bob Moore. Then we get to the city manager's office. In that department is 2 full-time employees, and their responsibility is running the day-to-day operations. 2 categories that the city is ran by. We have a support department, support departments, and then we have service departments. The support departments consist of administrations, city clerk, customer service, finance, purchasing, that's 2 departments in one. Human resources, vehicle maintenance, Service Department, Community Development, Parks and Recreation, Public Safety, which is our fire and police, utilities, gas and electric. This is our finance and purchasing, director, Tommy Harrell. And like I say, on his, it's got a list of what those responsibilities are. So they basically just hand and distribute city's money, supervises the budget preparations for the cities and the process. We have the city clerk, customer service department. The director for that department is Wynetta Boulder. Again, that's one of the department that has, you know, two departments into one, the divisions. And then the sole purpose of her departments. In her department, she's the records, court custodian. She records and prepares cemetery deeds, transcribes city commission meetings. The youth council and teen court falls up under that department. She, is responsible for our 311 calls, customer care center. They answer general calls to the city, our citizens, process service requests and any utilities related needs for connections and services. So that's basically kind of what her department does. Okay, if you will go to, me. My department is, that's, the first department that process the paperwork. When we, hire you, this is the department you come to file all your paperwork. We maintain and update all insurance coverages, assist other departments by advertising any job vacancies, accepting applications, interviewing, and completing all personnel forms. So basically, that's what we do from day to day, along with, accident reports, different things like that. Payroll falls upon our department. And in that department, there's 2 full-time employees. Okay? The next department is our vehicle maintenance department. The director is Terry Fesperman. The responsibility for that department is they're responsible for the mechanical upkeep of we got over 200 city vehicles. We have equipment, roll machines, cars, trucks. These are the guys that keeps the city rolling with the vehicles. So and there's 5 employees in that department. We'll move on to our service department. Community development, the director for that department is Georgia Henderson. In that department, there's 10 different divisions: airport, animal control, building inspection and permits, code enforcement, economic development, grants, planning and zoning. The Heritage Station Museum falls up under that. Martin Central and public information. And the purpose of that department, that department regulates buildings and associated constructions activities to protect public health, safety, and welfare pursuant to the Uniform Construction Codes governing land use and code enforcement. In that department, there's 10 full-time employees. We'll move on to Parks and Recreation. The director for that department is Stevie Young. Parks and Recreation maintains Central Square Complex, the C.E. Weir Center, the Youth Center, 13 parks, 16 tennis courts, 13 ball fields, performs maintenance on approximately 55 buildings, shelters, and structures. This department is responsible for our cemetery, which is over 40 acres in size, over 7,000 buried, and 21 full-time employees and seasonal part-time employees is entailed in that department. Moving on to our public safety department, which is our fire and police. We have 3 fire stations. There's one on Cherry Street, one on Gordon Street, on the north end of town, going towards the north end of town, and then the Bowens Mill Highway. And the purpose, we know what the purpose of the fire and police is for, so, but those falls up under the city's, day-to-day operations. Bear there it is. The director for the fire department, we have our interim fire chief, which is Casey Wright. We don't have a picture of him. But then we have for our director, for the police department, Shane Edmondson, who's the police chief. And like I say, these are, you know, we kind of know how that police department works, so. And I'm just trying to cut it short, go through every little detail. Then we're gonna go to our utilities department. The director is Mike Hudson. In that, department, there's actually 7 full-time employees that's in the gas department. The gas department falls up under this department. And then we have the electric department where there's 12 full-time employees. The gas department supplies natural gas to over 17,000 residents, 375 commercial, and 10 industrial customers. They conduct leak surveys, valve inspection, regulation, station inspection, and they're a member of Municipal Gas Authority of Georgia. It operates and compressed natural gas fueling stations. And again, there's 7 full-time employees in that department. The electric department is responsible for the distribution of electric services to over 5,000 residents, businesses, and industries. Maintains 5,000 street and security lights. They're a member of Municipal Electric Authority of Georgia, and there again is 12 full-time employees in that department. Then we have ESG operations, which handles our water and wastewater. We contracted with ESG, the city did, back in 2014, which was about 6 years ago. But what their responsibilities is, they're responsible, or their responsibilities includes maintaining 18 wastewater lift stations, 4.5 million gallons of elevated tanks, 6 wells that are pumping an average of 4.8 million gallons of water per day, and treats up to 6 million gallons of wastewater per day. So we shouldn't take these guys for, you know, when you get up in the morning and turn your faucet on, you know, we could thank these guys for doing that. When we flush our toilets, and you know, we can thank these guys for this. They just keep that going for us. And then we have our public works department, which is our sanitation department. That's through, we contract with ESG with them about 3 years ago. And they're responsible for maintaining our streets, city signs, sidewalks, storm drains, you know, and these are the guys that pick up limbs and stuff you see sitting on the side of the road when you wake up and sit them on the corners. They're on a schedule where they come by and pick it up. So we should also be thankful for those guys too, because they're helping to maintain and keeping our city beautiful. So that's all I have for you, with the exception of also saying that the city has many job opportunities. Right now, being that we're geared towards the youth, we do have 5 part-time jobs that's open now. For anyone who's interested, just be sure to stop by the HR department. This is for our baseball season that's coming up. We need concession stand workers, scorekeepers, you know, it's 5 different positions that we're hiring for now. The deadline is the 28th of February. So if you're interested, believe it or not, we have employees that are career employees now that started out as part-time workers at your age, you know, younger adults. So it is a career-oriented organization. It ain't just, you know, the city, you know, we're all different members, part of one body, and it takes all of us to make the city function. So thank you for your time, and thank you for inviting me.
They can apply online for those jobs, right?
You can apply online, you just go to our website, www.cityofdouglas.com. Of course, you can come here to the office, and we have the applications here as well. And any jobs that we have listed, we post them on our website. And outside the double door, glass door, or not the double door, but the glass door out here, on our job announcement board. So, like I said, feel free. We're looking for good help all the time. So, thank you very much. And they post them on Facebook, our social media.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we will now have Ms. Washington, the Director of Recruitment, and Ms. Curtis, the Director of Financial Aid from South Georgia State College.
Good evening. So now that she's told you all about those jobs, I'm going to tell you about the education you need in order to get those jobs. So I bring greetings on behalf of our President, Ingrid Sellers. Thank you guys for inviting us. Hello, Council. My name is Jalene Washington. I'm Director of Recruitment and Special Programs for South Georgia State College. There's two portions of this. We're going to talk about the admissions piece and how to get accepted and what we offer at South Georgia State College, and then I'll share the time with my colleague in financial aid. The first thing I want to mention about South Georgia State College is, of course, you know that we're right here in your backyard. We're very conveniently located right here in Douglas, but we also have another campus in Waycross. We are about 2,500 students. We are part of the University System of Georgia, but we're one of the smaller regional units, and we are considered a residential institution. The good news about South Georgia State College is that I know many folks understand that we're here, and we offer 2-year programs, but we also offer 6 4-year programs, and we are very convenient in terms of our application process. It is a seamless application process. You would apply for admission online, so if I have seniors in the room, you can go ahead and start your process by going to sgsc.edu, fill out your application for admission electronically, and there's a $20 application fee, and submit your official high school transcripts electronically, and you will receive an admission decision within about 5 to 10 business days, okay? During our peak times, which are between April and June, it takes a little bit longer. But the good news is that you also do not need letters of recommendation or personal statements. SAT and ACTs are not a requirement to get admitted to South Georgia State College, but I encourage you all to take those tests because they could exempt you out of certain level courses. Our tuition is what we would like to say is accessible and affordable. It's one of the lowest in the state at about $95 per credit hour. So for full-time students that are considered in-state residents, your tuition is less than $2,000 per term. That's lower than any other college or university in the state. We have about 250 students that stay on campus with us. With that, of course, there's additional fees for room and board, but even with that, it's still one of the lowest in the state. In terms of our locations, as I mentioned, Douglas would be our location where we have residential students, and Waycross is our commuter location. But we have many different opportunities at both locations. We offer sports teams, athletic teams. We have men's basketball, we have baseball and softball, we have women's soccer, we have cross country and swimming, and we are looking at additional club sports. So we have other clubs and organizations on campus, honor societies, anything that you would like to get involved in and we don't offer it, you can always start that club and organization. One of the things that I think is most intriguing and that many students really, really like about South Georgia State College is that we don't have crappy freshman housing. So we have suite style housing, so you don't share a bedroom with anyone, you just share a bathroom, so you don't have to lock up your sneakers or your makeup or your snacks. You can just shut the door, and if you have guests or company, your roommate doesn't have to be bothered, but we have a very secure campus as well. Next slide. We have an upcoming preview day, so if you want to see it for yourself, we're going to be offering tours during preview day. We're also going to be waiving application fees, so you can apply prior to the event or after the event, and your fee will be waived. You can submit your official documents on site. If one of our recruiters come to your high school, of course you can always submit your official transcripts there. You can fill out the request for application fee waivers and we'll accept those. But come on to preview day, experience South Georgia State College yourself, meet with some academic programs, student service programs, and see if this is the right school for you. If you want some more information, you can always stop by and visit us. You can submit your documentation in person, follow us on social media, or you can contact me. I'm the Director of Recruitment and Special Programs. Coffee High School, Megan Day is your admissions recruiter, and you can always meet with her. Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
And thank you again for having us. And of course, my colleague just told you about the many different programs that we have, and we're offering you that you can possibly get some of these jobs that are offered in human resource. But of course, my part of that is I kind of help you get your finance together and figure out how you're going to pay for that. And so, and which is, so for some people, that's a daunting task. And financial aid can be complex depending on your family dynamics. So it gets a little different. But the first thing you should be aware of, and that's at any school that you're applying for, especially any seniors that are getting ready to go to college or thinking about college, you need to research their priority deadlines, especially for the FAFSA. And ours at South Georgia State College, of course, if you're going to start in the spring, will be October 15th. And coming this fall, just say you want to start, and we would love to have you. Start in the fall, you definitely want to have that FAFSA done by May 15th, and summer start is March 15th. So you definitely want to check those priority deadlines, because that assures that your FAFSA, when it hits that office, is completed in a timely manner so that you're awarded and you're not stressed out about finances when you step onto a college campus. So the first thing, of course, that you have to do is complete the FAFSA. And I would say that it is a free application for federal student aid. So if you go to any site and they tell you that you have to pay, when you finish, you are at the wrong site. You should never have to pay to do the FAFSA. But with even getting started with that FAFSA, and this is required for parents and students, because then you have to remember, parents, this student is considered a dependent student under you until age 24, unless there are some other special circumstances that are in play. So not only would that student have to create a FAFSA username and ID, parents, you will need to create a FAFSA username and ID so that you and that student can sign that FAFSA once you complete it. And a lot of information goes in there. Of course, they ask a lot of personal information, household income, household size, number in college, your net worth. But that's, the government is collecting all this information. Most time they have it, but they're collecting this information to see if they can come up with a EFC number, which is expected family contribution, meaning what they expect that you may contribute to your child's education. So that is one of the reasons for making sure that you complete the FAFSA and seeing what you may be out there that you're available to receive to help you go to college. And of course, since you're going to complete the FAFSA, especially seniors, we definitely want, you got to put a school code on it. And of course, our school code is up on the board. So I'm going to keep pointing back to South Georgia State College because we want you as a hawk. So I'm just going to keep putting that pitch out there. So write it down, maybe 001-592, so when you get ready to do your FAFSA, you can do that. But another important point, I know I mentioned about the priority deadlines. The FAFSA can be done. It comes out, the federal government, Department of Education, puts the FAFSA, new FAFSA, for the leading aid year out on October the 1st of every year. So if you did the FAFSA every October 1st when it comes out, you're way ahead of any deadline that any college may have or offer. So I would stay on that route. If you don't remember anything, October 1, except for if you're coming this fall, you need to be doing it now. But October 1, you will redo that FAFSA, you renew your FAFSA. And you have to do this every year to see what you're eligible for, because family income and dynamics do change. But just to give you, and it is a lot to take in, but I do have a short video for you to watch that kind of gives you an idea of what all goes into that FAFSA, what type of information that you will need to have with you handy when you're sitting down doing it.
The free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, is the application for grants, loans, and work-study funds provided by the federal government. It is also used by many states and schools for their financial aid programs. For the fastest and easiest way to apply, visit our official website, fafsa.gov. The FAFSA is available in English and Spanish. As you fill it out online, you'll be able to automatically skip questions that don't pertain to you, check out your status immediately, and get online help. It takes most people less than 30 minutes to complete the application. You'll need a few things when you fill it out, so get ready by gathering your social security number, your permanent resident card if you have one, any W-2 forms or records of money you earned for the previous year, and your tax records. By the way, a nice time-saving feature of the FAFSA is that many people are eligible to automatically transfer their tax data from the IRS into the FAFSA, so keep an eye out while you're applying in case you're offered that option. If you have any questions about what information to gather, there is a complete list of documents that you will need at fafsa.gov. Before you begin the process of filling out the FAFSA, you should create a username and password called an FSA ID that will act as your electronic signature. You'll only need to create an FSA ID once, and you can use it to renew your FAFSA each year that you apply. Your parents will need an FSA ID too if they have to provide any information. So now you're ready to begin filling out the FAFSA to apply for financial aid. There are 3 groups of questions that include personal information, such as your name, address, and marital status, financial information, such as your income, and any parent information that is required. If you get hung up or confused about a question, the Help and Hints box on the right-hand side of the application can help with each question as you move along. Also, look for the online chat feature under Help if you would like assistance from a knowledgeable agent. Because colleges and career schools use the FAFSA to provide financial aid, you can list up to 10 schools that you are interested in attending. You should list all of the schools that you are considering, even if you haven't been accepted or applied yet. If you have more than 10 schools in mind, you can submit your FAFSA with 10 schools and then replace some of those schools with other schools later. When you finish filling out the FAFSA, use your FSA ID to sign the form. If you are required to submit parent information on your FAFSA, a parent will need to sign the application with his or her own FSA ID as well. If you have any questions or need more information, please visit studentaid.gov.
So from that video, it seems kind of simple to do, but it can get complex depending on your family dynamics. And that's when you definitely want to come in, and that's the reason why you want to do it early. You definitely want to come in and see a financial aid advisor. And the thing I want to say about doing the FAFSA, it kind of lets you know once you complete it, actually when you complete it, it gives you an estimated amount of what you can possibly receive. And it can be a number of things based on your EFC number and whatever that algorithm, whatever that information you put in, it spits out what you are possibly eligible for until it comes to our office and we review it to make sure you're eligible for it. But when you're doing the FAFSA, it's showing what you may be eligible for a Pell Grant, and of course SEOG grant. That's a small amount of money that all schools receive, and of course I would say the plus for doing your FAFSA early guarantees that you get some of that money, because most schools like us, once they award out, especially the students that have an EFC of 0, they're awarded out as first come, first serve until it's all out. So remember October 1 to go ahead and get that FAFSA done. If you did do that, you're in the running for that. But it also lets you know about the direct loans, subsidized loans that you may receive, and parent plus loan wouldn't be on that FAFSA. But parents, if students needing more outside of their direct loans or subsidized loans, that's when we have parent plus loans that can be offered to the parents to help finish funding the application. I want to talk a little bit about state aid, and you probably hear this a lot at the high school, and that's of course with the state of Georgia. We have the Zell Miller Scholarship and the Hope Scholarship. Of course, at South Georgia State College, we only offer Zell Miller and Hope Scholarship. Some schools, if they do certificates, and if you go to a school that does certificates and other things, they do the Hope Grant and Zell Miller Grant. But at South Georgia State College, we only do those two. But of course, this depends on what you do in high school. Meaning, especially for the Zell Miller, you have to graduate with a 3.7. And when Ms. Janine was telling you about the SAT, and sometimes that gets you, helps you along the way, and maybe exempt you from certain classes that you won't have to be. Well, the SAT is needed if you're going to try to go for Zell Miller, or ACT, because you have to score at least a 1200 on the SAT and have at least a 26 on the ACT to be eligible. So there's 3.7, 1200, or 26 on the ACT. Of course, now with the Hope Scholarship, it's a little different. Zell Miller does pay 100% of tuition, not fees, but 100% of tuition. But hey, it's still free money. It gets you over the hurdle. Hope Scholarship, you have to have a 3.0 coming out of high school. And of course, the difference is not the scores. The only difference, there's no score that you have to really make on the SAT or the ACT, but you have to have a 3.0, and it's based on your rigor courses coming out of high school. Of course, we don't make that determination that you're going to be eligible for Zell Miller or Hope. That determination is made at Georgia Student Finance Commission. Of course, everybody knows that Hope and Zell is funded by the Georgia Lottery. So those that are playing, thank you. So it's funded by the Georgia Lottery, and these are helping our kids get this Zell Miller and Hope scholarship. And of course, I did have to put a picture of my team. So just in case you come on, when you come to Preview Day, that's in March at South Georgia State College, and you want to learn more about financial aid, stop by and see these lovely ladies. Me and my team will be there to help you and give you all the information that you need to get you started on financing your education and getting where you want to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now have Commissioner Pace read our upcoming city events.
Hello, everyone. On February 21st, the Red Hat Society new members lunch and birthday party at the Arts Center. For more information on that, call 383-7332. On February 24th, the City Commissioner meeting at City Hall in the Council Room at 7 p.m. On February 3rd through the 21st, the Douglas Parks and Recreation early track registration for ages 8 through 14. For more information on that, call 384-5978. On February 24th through March 6th, the Douglas Parks and Recreation regular track registration. For more information on that, 384-5978. On March 1st, the Douglas Residential Junk Drop-Off Day at the City Pole Yard across from the post office from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon. March 7th, the Douglas the Douglas Residential Junk Drop-Off Day at the City Pole Yard across from the post office from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon. On March 7th, the Douglas Residential Junk Drop-Off Day, the City Pole Yard across from the post office at 8:30 from 12 p.m. noon. On March 9th, we have the City Commission meeting at City Hall in the Council Room at 7 p.m. On March 14th, the Wiregrass Art Festival is going to be held at the Central Square Complex in the Gym B from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. On March 17th, the Georgia Small Business Development Center's Customer Service Workshop in the Atrium Event Center from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And lastly, our next meeting is on March 19th, and I would like you all to come out. That'll be all for city events.
We'll now have our Junior Mayor Pro Tem, Anna Escobar, read our social media update.
I would just like to remind everyone to please follow us at Douglas Mayor's Youth Council on Facebook and Douglas GA NYC on Instagram. We make sure to post updates on everything we do, upcoming events, and hopefully we'll be able to post things on job opportunities that will be available for all the youth to take part in. And now I would like to welcome Ms. Tracy Vickers, who will speak to us about the 2020 census.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The 2020 census is coming soon. By March, the Census Bureau will begin mailing the questionnaires. By April 1st, every home in the United States will receive a census. This is the first year that it can be answered by mail, by phone, or online. The census is responsible for about $675 billion being distributed in the U.S. In Coffee County, it will affect our funding by $2,200 per person per year for a 10-year period for every person that is not counted. So over a 10-year period, this is $22,000 for our city, county Board of Education that will not be counted, that we will not get funding for every person in the household, every household that is not counted. So that is how important it is over a 10-year period. It's not just one year, it is a 10-year period. So the city, county, and the Board of Education is affected by this funding. Everything from grants to businesses. Businesses look at this to see where to build restaurants, stores, hiring. So it's all very important to our community. Redistricting lines for Congress and all kind of government funding. So please help keep Coffee County a great place to live, work, and play by completing the 2020 census that you should start seeing soon by April 1st. And every household should definitely have it. And so if you can pick up a poster, if you have any place to put posters up for us, that would be great. So if you can pick those up, and if you have a business that you can post those, that would be great. Any word that you can get out for us for everybody to be looking for the census and how important it is for Coffee County.
Didn't you mention an event earlier when I was talking to you?
Yes, on March the 27th, it's on a Friday. Connie Lott with the Senior Citizens Center is going to be hosting an event for the seniors to come there, and they will help them fill out the census. And I think she's going to also be doing some meals that day. And so if you know of any seniors that would need, some kind of help to do that, they're going to have computers set up, and so she would be glad to help anyone with that. And just contact Connie at Senior Citizens, or you can contact us at the Coffee County Commissioner's Office, and we'll be glad to get you in touch with them to help with that. And if any of the youth council would like to go help that day, I'm sure Miss Connie would love to have any of you to come help. And so you can contact me or Miss Connie, and we'll put you to work.
What was that, David?
March the 27th, I believe it's on Friday. It's the last Friday of March.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get in touch with Walmart to see if we can set up a booth outside of Walmart to get something planned for either maybe the last Saturday of March or the 1st of April to get some posters and get some information passed out at Walmart to get some visibility and make people aware to be looking for this in the mail.
Is there any way that the youth can get involved with this 2020 census coming up?
Yes, we are going to be planning some more events, but just with those two right there, we would love to have you come help, and I can be back in touch with Juanetta to get y'all planned to help those 2 days for sure. And then as I plan more stuff, or if y'all have anything that y'all want to plan and that we can help y'all with, we would be glad to. Any events y'all want to set up.
Okay.
This is also an opportunity for temporary employment for some citizens, correct?
It is. If you would like to go on 2020 census, they have information about jobs, and the pay rate is about $14 an hour. So they are looking for people from Coffee County, because it's better for our community to have local people, because they know our area instead of getting people from, Atlanta or somewhere that does not know our neighborhoods. So anybody that wants to apply, just go to 2020 census, and it'll lead you to jobs, and you just apply online. So, and they are looking for people. The last I heard, they were looking for like 100 people. So that would be great if anybody's interested.
What is the age limit?
I'm not sure if it's 18 or 21, but it'll tell you online. You can look online, and if you have any questions, contact us at the Commissioner's Office, or any of the 2020 Census Committee people. Be glad to answer any questions.
And so we actually heard that a lot of the information that people when they're filling out the paperwork, it's no one else will be reading that information. Am I correct?
Yes, they cannot. The census cannot share your information with any other agency. It is strictly confidential, and I mean it's not used for anything else except the census.
Okay.
It doesn't, affect any other area of anything that you do.
Okay.
That they can. I mean, it's strictly prohibited, and they take it very serious.
Okay, because I know one of the things that we have discussed before is, especially like certain communities will be fearful of filling out the application due to their fear that, someone will read it, look into certain things, and I know that's an issue that we currently have.
It is an issue, and it just can't happen.
Okay.
Every census employee has to take an oath that they will not share any kind of information, and this is just for statistics, for funding, for all over the United States, and to get the funding right so that because everything from schools to fire departments to grants, everything is affected, and it has to be done right, and it is just vitally important to our city, our county, and our Board of Education.
What would you say to those who feel as though that money, they don't see the outcome of that money?
Well, I would say that and Mayor Poff also knows too, that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes as far as funding for the city, the county, and the Board of Education that people don't realize, but it really does affects it greatly. And I didn't know either until, I really got into the census and how much it really does affect it. Do you have anything on that, Mayor Paul, how much as far as the city, how much, I'm sorry, as far as the city, how it affects our funding through the county and?
Sure. As far as the funding, always remember that these are federal dollars, could also be state dollars, and those dollars are what we call competitive dollars. Whoever has the application submitted on time, whoever has the most complete application, and the biographical data of the community plays a large part in where these dollars are going to go. So when we start looking at grants, we're looking at to pave the roads, police equipment, fire equipment. We're talking about the sewer treatment plant. It's just a host of monies out there that if we don't take advantage of the census and make sure that we're accounted properly. I always say in the city of Douglas, there's 11,656 citizens. Well, that's how we're going to be funded based off of that number. However, if there's 14,000 citizens in Douglas, those are monies that we lose for those 2,500 individuals that we did not count. And as the young lady said, that translates into dollars for the next 10 years, the next decade. And right now in the city of Douglas, we're always shining brightly. We want to make sure that every citizen is counted in the city and in the county, because in the city of Douglas and Coffee County, we work together to make sure that we provide the best services and opportunities for our citizens. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Good deal.
Okay. Thank you.
Where would you suggest flyers be put up about the census so local residents will know, like when and where?
Any business, we've got them at the hospitals, the doctor's offices. We have put them out through the Chamber of Commerce for all the industries. So anything, anywhere that you may have a personal business that you would like posters, please get them anywhere for visibility. We would love by April 1st, we would love for Coffee County, Broxton, Ambrose, Nichols, everywhere to be saturated with the word about the census and how important it is. So any visibility that you have, the college, I believe they've gotten posters. So anywhere you can put them, we would be glad for any help getting them out, because there may be somewhere that we don't reach that you can. So if you have break rooms, anywhere the public goes, please help us put those out.
Thank you.
Churches and organizations.
Yes, they're all supposed to be delivered to the churches in the next week or two, I hope. So, yes, but if you do not have them at your church, please get some. Thank you for that. Yes.
I would like to make a motion for the Mayor's Youth Council to give a letter of support to the county regarding the census.
I, Candace Space, first this motion.
Tyree Wilson, second this motion.
It's a motion in first and second. All in favor? All opposed? Thank you for coming, and could you, please get with Lynetta on us helping you out at these events?
I sure will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We now have our Mayor's Youth Council members' comments. We will start with Commissioner Yates.
I would like to thank everybody for coming and make sure you be safe on your way back home tonight.
Commissioner Pace.
Please come out on April 20th to support the CHS Drama Department on our new production written by New York playwright Mrs. T. Cat Ford about the segregation and integration of Coffee County school system with real stories and events. And also, I have taken it upon myself to start my own cosmetic company. The name is called G Hazel, and we are completely vegan and 100% cruelty-free. And I restock on March 9th.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Isma.
I would just like to thank everybody for coming. I would like to thank our guest speakers because you just teach the youth so much about things that we should be informed of and that we should keep up to date with. I would also like to congratulate our youth spotlights and our member spotlight. Everything we do, we take great pride in making sure that everybody hears about it. And like I said before, please go follow our Instagram and Facebook pages because we need more followers. And I'll pass it on.
Commissioner Suarez.
Thank you everybody for coming out this afternoon, and I just want to let y'all know that the 2020 yearbooks are still on sale for $75. You can pay at the school and you'll get you could go by the high school and get them next school year.
Commissioner Wilson.
Oh, me. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. I thank you for Miss Tammy Wilkinson for speaking, Miss Jaylene, Miss LaToya, and Miss Tracy speaking.
Commissioner Jackson.
I would like to thank everyone and the speakers for coming out tonight. I hope to see you all back again for our next meeting in March.
Commissioner Deborah.
I would like to thank everybody for coming out and supporting us for our meeting, and I hope to see y'all next March for our next meeting.
I would like to thank everyone for coming out. I would also like to thank Mr. Mike Bazell for helping all the time and for chaperoning for our Alena trip we had here recently. And I would also like to challenge each youth council member to find a place to post some census flyers. And, text the group chat and let Ms. Lynetta know you did.
How many?
Make it a
All
competition. Do as many as you can.
Bet.
And again, thank you all for coming. I would now like to have a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I, Candace Space, first this motion.
I, Ashton, second this motion.
It's a motion first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I ain't got to hold it.
Thank you.